Hello. Oh, hello and welcome back to the channel. And I went the wrong way then. Today I'm just going to do a bit of a recap. Somebody asked me how I'm getting on with my windscreen, my heated windscreen front and back. So what I'm going to be doing is just running through a little bit of recap on what I did last time, and then I want to show you the wiring diagram I've got and just find out what I've found so far. Okay, so without further ado, let's crack on. Right, my problem. Okay, so if I turn the ignition on and I got a light on there, it won't go out, and this one won't come on. This is the rear windscreen and that's the front one. Nothing on there, just this light comes on, and I found out which fuse operates it and the relay. So I come around to here. This fuse down here, well, I've got a fuse on there, fuse number 16 down there. You can see that. Doesn't seem to focus very well, this camera, but fuse 16, and which is this one here, that one just there. So if I pull that one out, that actually turns the light out. So that's the feed to front and rear windscreen. Okay, so I'll go back here and put it back in, and when I put it back in I hear a relay click in. I can see it sparking well down there. So whatever it is, something's holding it in. So this relay down here has been energized, the one down there, and I've had it out and it looks good and it works fine. So that relay's fine, but there should be a timer on it, and there should be something for the front one as well. So I don't know which one that is, but I haven't got a clue, because obviously on here it doesn't tell you anything about what relay, or it does what the fuses do but not the relay, not a thing. Okay, so next thing to do is see if I've got power to the rear windscreen when I've got that light on, which is on now, as you can see through there. Right, this is the best wiring diagram I've been able to put my hands on, and it starts off with a battery over here, okay, and it goes through a fuse linked wire down to this little junction here, connector, and it goes into the number 2, which is the ignition switch. Okay, so when you turn the ignition switch, well, without the ignition switch on, the power goes along here into this relay 70, and they've got that down as ignition relay. Now I'm not sure that isn't the rear windscreen or rear windows relay. So coming out of that, and it goes, when that's energized, it goes from 87 to 30, and it goes along this black wire to fuse 16 across, and to this thing here. I'm not sure what this connector is. Looks like it's got a connector there and there, but I'm not sure what this sign is. And it goes to another little junction there, and it goes into number 2. And wonderful one is actually the heated rear window switch. So when you operate the switch, it comes round and it connects from 2 to 1, and it comes along this black and blue wire all the way down to the heated windscreen, rear heated windscreen. Okay, we know we've had that on because it's been stuck on with the light on, but since I've been playing around with it, that light sometimes comes on and sometimes it's very dim. So we've got some sort of power down somewhere. Now I need to check first of all that I've got power to this 787, okay, and then I need to check the continuity from 30 to 16 and from 16 to 2. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing next. And that has gone out. Okay, so next on the agenda, well, the first thing on the agenda is going to be checking power, or actually, yeah, power and voltage to this relay here on 87. So that's the one that's live without the ignition on. Okay, so that's, first of all, we're going to have to get this one out so I can get to the one behind it. I'm using these long nose pliers. That came out easy. And it's this one in the back that's a bit of a struggle. Yeah, that's gone out. So if I show you that way up, that's the way it's got the right numbers. I don't know if that's in focus or not, I can't see, but that's 87, and I pulled it out that way round, so I can't get my tester in there, so I've got this, I made this jump lead up just to put in here, and that's going to go in that little slot down there. I don't know if you can see that, and I've got the lead there to put my probe in. Right, I've got this little jumper wire that goes into that slot, and as you can see, it's not in there properly. Okay. Right, okay, so we've got power there, but I want to know how much power I've got, so I'm just going to flick that up to volts, and at the moment it says I've got 13.4849. Okay, so that's good. I'm just going to turn the ignition on and pull this fuse 16 out. So, and I'm going to check the connections down here. Okay, so I've got 12.33, and on the other side got 2.7 millivolts, so that's nothing. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I've got a good connection from my relay, which is down here, to this terminal here on fuse 16. Just checking the continuity. I've got the other end of this wire plugged into that fuse 16, and it should be on here, and I've got absolutely nothing to show for it. Just to make sure, I'm just going to test it against the crocodile on that, and you can see that that's working perfectly. So obviously I've lost continuity from the fuse up here, so that's one of my problems. I need to sort that out. I think it must go through some connector somewhere, which I'm going to have to look for. So I'm just going to run through this bit, which doesn't make any sense at all. Now then, I've got 1 volt coming through there, which is not worth worrying about. That's with the ignition turned off. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the ignition on and see what we've got. So I've got 11.4 volts, 0.03, so it's dropping slightly. Okay, and I've got the warning light saying that my rear windscreen is turned on. Now when sorry about this, it's gone a bit fuzzy. Okay, so I'm just going to try and do this. So you press it and it makes no difference to it at all. Okay, so if I go back round here, just bring it back down there. Okay, so if I pull the switch right out, you should think, according to that wire, according to the wiring diagram, it should stop the feed to the rear windscreen altogether. So let's just pull that out. Okay, so what we got there now, we've still got the same voltage. I'm going to pull the front windscreen out next, and what have we got now? we've still got the same voltage with both switches removed. How about that then? So it's possibly the wrong wiring diagram. So I need to go back to the drawing board on this. So I think that's going to be it for this video. Right, next I'm going to turn the ignition on, and you're going to be watching the multimeter to see if I've got a drain on that battery with the ignition on. So okay, how's that looking? Yeah, okay, so we've got a steady drain on that. The only thing that can be is the front windscreen's on permanently. Permanently? Yeah. Okay, so I'm pressing the button on it. And if that made any difference, did it turn it off? No, it's still dropping. Actually, no, it just stopped 6. No, it is still dropping. Okay, so now I'm going to take that relay out and the ignition relay, and we're going to see if it stops dropping. Okay, how's it looking now? So I've got 12.44, and is it going to go back up? Well, it certainly stopped dropping. No, it's still dropping. Okay, still dropping a little bit, but not as much, but it's still dropping. That's probably just because the ignition's on. Okay, so what I don't know is what else that ignition relay feeds. So I don't know if the engine will start or anything like that, so I might need to do that next. So I've just taken that relay out, that's the ignition relay, and I think it just feeds the 2 screens, front and back, hopefully. So I'm just going to see if the engine starts, and we're going to watch the, well, actually it looks like the multimeter's going up now, so without that relay in there, it means that both front and rear screens are isolated. Well, I think that's running alright. I need just a couple of switches, I think, for the 2 windscreens, front and rear. Right, it looks like we've got power to fuse 16, but we haven't got any continuity to the switch like the wiring diagram said, but we've got the actual screens, front and rear. I've got no way of testing the front one, but it looks like they're both on all the time. So I need to find out what's in between the fuse and the screens. Hopefully it's not going to be under the dash, and it's
one of these relays down here, so I'm going to have to take all those relays out in that block and check them one at a time to see if there's a continuity between the fuse and any of the relays. So that's going to be in the next video. So this is basically going to be part 1, even though I did have a little look at it in one of my previous videos, and my next one hopefully are going to be part 2, where I find out what the problem is. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody that subscribed. Nearly 50% of people watching most YouTube videos aren't subscribed, so I really appreciate if anybody can just press that subscribe button and subscribe to me, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye for now.
I appreciate everybody that's supported me on this channel, everybody that's subscribed, everybody that's given me a thumbs up, everybody that's left a comment, and everybody that shared my videos. So thanks again, and catch you in the next one.